Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 of the Advent Knit Along, where we are going to be making a lovely Christmas stocking. Now, as a recap from yesterday, what we did is we cast on 40 stitches and then we knit 1 row. Now, if you've gotten that far, you're going to be flying for the next couple of days because there's lots more of the same. Now, for this particular day, there is going to be a little bit of a maneuver where we cast off some stitches in order to make the loop part of the stocking. So we're going to cast off 10 stitches. Now I'm going to show you how to cast off, but the first step is to cast off 10 stitches and then knit to the end of the row. And then you should have 30 stitches left on your needle. So to cast off, you ignore your tail. That is the bit that is not attached to the ball of yarn. Ignore that bit. You've got the working yarn, which is attached to the ball. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our right needle, like we've been doing with the knitting in the last time round. You're just going to make sure that the yarn is down and to the back so that you can see that is what your first stitch is going to look like. It's like a line with a bar. So what we're going to do is you're going to take your right needle, move it to the left side of the first stitch, and then push it through that stitch. Then we're going to wrap it round the back, bring the yarn to the front, and drop it off and knit that first stitch as normal. We're also going to knit the second stitch as normal. So the needle goes to the left, goes through the stitch, wrap your arm around the back, bring it to the front and drop it off. Now this is where we stop for a moment because now we're going to start casting off stitches. So to cast off a stitch, we're basically going to pull this stitch up and over this stitch and off the needle. So we're going to take our needle, or you can use your fingers, but you take the stitch here and then you bring it over this stitch and off your needle while keeping this one on. And that is what you're going to do 10 times. So that was 1. So then we're going to knit our next stitch like normal until you have 2. And then we're going to bring this stitch up and over the one that we just knit to cast off our second. And then we're going to do that 10 times. So knit like normal and then bring the stitch up, over and off. That's 3. And we're going to knit till 2 stitches, up, over and off. And again, number 5, number 6, number 7, 8, 9, and cast that last one off is 10. So now this in the future is going to be the loop to our stocking, which is going to be the thing that is going to where you're going to hang the stocking from, essentially. So we will come back to that when it's time to sew it up, but what you should be knitting now is the 29 stitches that are left. So by the end you should have 30 stitches on your needle. So we're just going to knit across and work to the end of the row, not casting off any more stitches. So just knit stitches all the way. Now we can talk about Christmas again. I feel like when it comes to Christmas, there are so many different fun traditions, and in our family, we, coming from Lance's stuff and with my stuff and different families growing up, the UK, the US traditions of what we eat on Christmas has always been a discussion, whether we should eat, some people have beef, some people have salmon, some people have turkeys, and like for us, we very much have an array of everything, because when it comes to Christmas and any of the big holidays, we tend to have everyone over for dinner that doesn't leave the city. So when we were in London, anyone that didn't go home or didn't necessarily celebrate Christmas, they could come to ours and it would be a safe place for everyone to come and have a great time, good food, good friends. And for this year, we're doing the same thing. We're having friends over. We're going to have turkey. We recently had our back garden just done, so we might do the turkey on the barbecue because that's something that we often do. So I think it's also, I don't know about anyone else, if you're a knitter that knits gifts, knitting gifts is so difficult because by the time you get to Christmas, everybody wants a gift and you think that it'll be easy and you're ahead of schedule. and then it just never happens. So this Christmas I haven't really done any gift knitting, but I'm making this stocking, so somebody's going to get a new stocking, just like you're going to be able to gift a stocking as well. So the last stitch of that row. So what we just did there is we cast off 10 stitches, which are going to be the loop that you're going to be able to hang out with, and then you knit across, and now we have 30 stitches on our needle, and this is what we're going to be working with until we start to turn the heel. That was the end of day 2. So as a recap, on day 1 we cast on 40 stitches and then we knit 1 row. On day 2 we cast off 10 stitches and knit across the rest of the row, so we're now left with 30 stitches. So if you're enjoying this so far, it's going to get a whole lot more fun because we're going to have day 3 tomorrow. So I will see you then.